And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're looking at NFL draft prospects. We're going to be looking at some players that the Washington Commanders should definitely take if they are available in this upcoming NFL draft. And so we are looking at an article that is on commanders.com. This is Zach Selby that writes this. And within this article, you have several different writers that have been doing some mock drafts this last week. And they list several players, going to the Washington Commanders. So out of these players, there are three players that I think the Washington Commanders should certainly take if they are available in this upcoming draft. They're all on the defensive side of the ball. And I definitely think that, look, you are going to get some players that could be maybe some real future stars for your team here. And so let's start with player number one. He's a defensive end. He's an edge rusher out of Boston College. That is going to be Donovan Ezeiruaku. And so Donovan Ezeiruaku was second in the nation in sacks at 16 and a half sacks. And he also was the 2024 ACC Player of the Year, played all 4 years with Boston College. And so defensive end, edge rusher, look, this guy is pretty incredible with what he's able to do. And so the first thing that really stands out is just his speed. I think that the way that he comes up and attacks the line of scrimmage, I love that. I think that, you definitely love that about your edge rusher, defensive end. I think that that's something that translates to the next level. And I think that he does that very well. So the way that he gets off the ball, he puts a lot of pressure on the line of scrimmage very early. And so the next thing that he does well is I think he does a great job as far as using his length, using his hands to move the blocker out of the way or to create momentum to get to the quarterback. There were several plays where he is going up, to the opposing, lineman, tackle, tight end, whoever's blocking him. He's either pushing them and then he'll push him one way and get some leverage. And then that kind of jolts him into the quarterback or into the direction of the quarterback. And he's able to make plays that way. You could definitely see his strength and his ability to kind of push players back into the pocket. And so you see that. So I love the fact that, man, the use of hands, the length, like it definitely could be something that translates for the Washington Commanders. And then next, I think his technique is unique. I think that, he was very successful as a standing rusher, but I think that maybe there's a real possibility he could be a versatile rusher that not only stands up and rushes the quarterback, but I think he could definitely get down in a three-point stance and still get home as well. And so I like that for the Washington Commanders. If you can get a young edge rusher like this in your building, he's 6'2", 247. He's a senior. And he got better each year. He went from 19 total tackles all the way up to 80 total tackles. And the added bonus with him is his ability to generate turnovers because he had 3 forced fumbles in 2022. He had 2 in 2023. And then he came back this last season with 3 as well. I think that there were several plays where you see that he's punching at the football, and the 3 plays that he makes, he does this, I think, on a couple of quarterbacks, but also too, there's one play where the running back is into the second level, a pretty good game. He makes the tackle, but is able to punch the football loose, gets the possession back for his team. So you love that. I've talked about this several times. We need a defense that is going to continue to just generate turnovers, because if you do that, you flip the field with this offense with Jaden Daniels. I think that you can really start to put pressure on opposing teams. And so next up, 2 players that could really help the Washington Commanders as far as their secondary is concerned. And so this is Malaki Starks, safety out of Georgia. He's 6'1", 205. Played 3 seasons with Georgia. So from 2022 up to 2024, he had 2 interceptions in 22, 3 in 2023, and only 1 in 2021. And so here's the thing with him. And so I like the fact that first and foremost, he is a great, just reader of the play. And so he quickly just reads the play and he understands what is happening. Like as soon as he understood that it was a run or he understands that it's a pass, he seems to be in the right position. And so he is quick to pick up what the offense is doing. And so you love that as far as play recognition defensively. That means that he's not going to be fooled. Then next up, I love the fact that he is a great hitter. So when you're talking about a player that is going to come up, play with some force, and then really, make players pay for getting into that second level of the defense, I think he's definitely going to be that player. And I also think that, look, he's going to be a player that can come down in the box and stop a lot of these plays too. And so that is a great thing. We definitely know that that is one of the things the Washington Commanders really struggled with. And that is just, we got gashed in the run game. And so I think that he is going to be a player that certainly can do that. And once again, we're talking about a versatile player because it looks like that, look, he has some ball skills when it comes to coverage. I think that he had an incredible interception where he just basically turns into the wide receiver. It was a highlight play where he goes up in the air and intercepts the football that way. So, I mean, he's a guy that is going to take the opportunity to take it away. I love the fact that, look, he doesn't quit on the play. I like that, he's batting the football from behind. And so that suggests that even if you get a step on him, he knows how to get his hands in there and maybe knock it away. So that is good to see. And I think that, look, he can cover just about anything. I think he'll be able to cover tight ends. I think he'll be able to cover wide receivers and then also two running backs. Like, I don't think that there's going to be anything that he cannot cover. And the only issue here is that, look, he did not perform as well at the NFL draft combine. I think he only ran a 4.5. But when you look at his tape, I thought he was pretty good. As far as his total tackles are concerned, they actually went up each year. He went from 69 all the way up to 77. This year was his best as far as solo tackles were concerned, 52 on the year. And then, his pass deflections, he had more in 22 and 23 with 7, only 3 in this season. But still, he shows a lot. I think that he would be a safety that certainly you can build with when you're talking about building a foundation with Jaden Daniels. These players are players that you can start to build a foundation with defensively. And next up, look, this is a player that I certainly think the Washington Commanders would get if he is available. And he is a safety as well. And that is going to be Nick Emmanwori. And so this guy is just an athletic safety. I mean, that is exactly what he is. He's athletic. He played linebacker, and I guess because of injury, he went to safety. And man, this guy, man, he ran a 4.38 in the 40 at the NFL draft combine. And man, at the size that he's at, I mean, it was pretty incredible because he's 6'3", 227. And man, I mean, he looks like he could be a linebacker, but look, he shows that he could definitely intercept the football. He had 4 interceptions in 2024. He had 2 in 2023, so he got better there. The pass deflections were there. 2023, he had 8. 2024, he had 2. And then when it came down to tackling, look, he went up in that category as well. And he is another player that is a big time hitter. Like, this guy will come up and he's definitely a safety that can play in the box, especially with that linebacker, experience. He has a ton of range. And so when you're talking about, just being versatile as a defense, like, he is that guy. And then just with the athleticism. And so went back, looked at the NFL combine again. And so this was Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network, and he compared him to Derwin James that plays for the Chargers there. And when you look at his 40 and how fast he ran, DK Metcalf barely beat him with a 4.3. I think he ran a 4.38. And so that is phenomenal speed. And he just absolutely balled out in the NFL draft combine. I think he's been going up the draft boards. And one of the reasons why I really think the Washington Commanders would take a chance on him is because he reminds me of a player that used to play back in the day. And I had to look it up. He reminds me of Cam Chancellor. And Cam Chancellor, Bam Bam, that used to play for the Legion of Boom for the Seahawks. He was 6'3", 225. And guess who coached him? That was Dan Quinn. And so this is a Dan Quinn type of player. And I really do believe if he is available, I could see the Washington Commanders going out and getting him. So anyway, let me know in the comments here. Do you think the Washington Commanders would get any of these players? Because I do think that, look, we've talked about it with Jaden Daniels. He's certainly the future, but we need to get a player in the defense that is going to be a future player. And I think that either one of these players might be a great start for us. And so I'd love to hear what your comments are. And as we always say, go Commanders, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.